Millions jackpot sitting now at $1.6 billion with a B dollars. Somebody is lined up to be an instant millionaire. That is with the cash option, of course.
So everyone's asking, what do you do? What do you do? Well, let's think about the legal part of it before you actually grab it for yourself. We've got Nicole Sodoma with Sodoma Law to get that legal advice that you need. Welcome. I mean, is this the question of the week? This is insane, right?
It's so exciting.
I know.
If you have been to any convenience store and you buy a ticket, the look on the clerk's face is, I hope you win.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
It's been a great
Let's
week.
fast forward and act like one of us won. Right. Me. Let's act like I won. Any one of you out there.
Pool, you knucklehead.
So if you find out you win, what are some of the legal things you ought to do if you come into a substantial amount of money, whether it's 100 grand or 1.6 billion?
You need to put together the right team. I mean, we optimize our fantasy lineup. How is it really any different? So you need to put together the right attorney, the right advisor, financial advisor, and make sure you have the right accountant in place, and figure out what the best way it is to optimize what it is that you have. So you have to protect it. We have to think about the anonymity. We have to think about how it could impact a child support obligation, an alimony obligation, or even whether it's part of a marital estate.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because point number 2 here is, speaking of marriage, they don't always last through lottery tickets. It changes a lot of relationships in people's lives. Or if a person has a ticket and is already divorced, how does that all work in terms of who's entitled to what?
So when we talk about child support, we're going to talk about it as being whether you do a lump sum or you do the recurring payments over time. First, we have to deal with taxes, right? So
and a lot
of taxes, right?
Well, and don't assume that what's on the lottery website is accurate. I did check it yesterday just to see, and I think it might have been a little off, so I don't know if it's been updated. So make sure you check with your accountant first, and you have that time to do that. But as it relates to child support, if you do that recurring income, it's likely going to come into play because it is considered income for tax purposes.
It's amazing how money can change a relationship, whether you're married or not. I mean, you know, you got friends coming out of the woodworks. You got people saying, well, we were boyfriend, girlfriend. I feel like I'm entitled to some of that. Should you get anything like in writing? Is that ever important with this?
Absolutely. And if you're thinking about getting married or you're already married, this is where conversations about prenuptial agreements come into play, or postnuptial agreements, which are agreements that people execute after they're married. So yes, absolutely. Or it's a great time to talk about estate planning. So having that experienced estate planning in place, it's a great time for charitable donations. Look at donor-advised funds or other opportunities to make those kinds of contributions.
Well, you mentioned this a little bit just now, too, but yeah, in terms of leaving it for the next generation, for your kids, maybe your grandkids, et cetera, you need to set all that in place now as well, right?
Absolutely. And you have time to do that. So from the time you get notice to the time you actually get to make those decisions, there's time to put together that team and make sure that you're making the right decisions.
All right, everyone else has been asking this, and we're almost out of time, but if you were to win, Nicole, which I hope you don't because we want to win, but if you were, what would you do? What would you do with that money?
Oh my gosh, I know I should have the answer to that question.
Yeah, you have all the other answers.
Well, you have until this evening to think about it.
I do, and I meant to tell you both. Here are yours. There you go, and you saw it here.
Truly?
Here are your tickets.
Wow!
I did. I have them for you. So, and I have one for a couple other people here.
Well, look at this. We're out of time, so I guess we'll just have to take those other ones too. Thank you for coming in. Always great to have you. Take a quick break, guys. We're back after this.